Salvation Army in the UK is a very diverse organisation. We have around about 4,500 users and around about 3,500 endpoints for those users, and we work in such diverse areas as social care. We're a Christian charity and we have to make sure that we can provide the facilities for our people to do the work effectively and efficiently. Being a charity means that we've got to get value for money out of everything that we do, and that includes information technology as well. When we had Windows NT and USB devices weren't supported under NT, it was fairly straightforward, and we had a number of phone calls to the support desk suggesting that there was a problem with people's PCs. When we moved from NT to XP, then all of those issues became very, very real for us. So it wasn't simply a matter of explaining that the USB devices wouldn't work under NT. Under XP they would. The team that was planning the desktop deployment thought long and hard about how we should tackle that particular issue, and fortunately we had some prior warning of what the issues were going to be, so we were able to look for a solution that would provide us with some control at least over what devices could be plugged in and what information could flow through those particular ports. When we made the migration to Windows XP, we were interested to see if we could bring together the user and the device more than perhaps we had in the past. In many of our centres we've now deployed thin client computing, which removes a lot of the problem away from the endpoint. We've introduced consumer computing and called it business computing, and we've brought home practices into the workplace. So there's a great confusion between what's okay at home and what's okay corporately. Lumention allows us to do that, and do that in a very positive way. So rather than open up things by default, we've taken a stance that says we'd like to introduce you, the user, to this machine with this device onto our network, and make sure that that happens in a very sensible and safe sort of environment. We have a very straightforward message that we try to get across, and that's that you must take care of data, you must show that data some respect, and you must treat that data safely and securely at all times. I think it's everyone's responsibility to make sure that data isn't left lying around, isn't transferred inappropriately. Some of the instances that we've seen over this past year of data loss, I think, have been stunning. But on the upside, I think that's raised it on everyone's awareness agenda, so that people are now very, very thoughtful about what they do with the data and what they do with the information. We selected Lumention's security device control to bring together three elements which we saw as being key to sorting this particular problem. We wanted to bring together the device identifier itself with the user account and with the machine account on the network. We were also able to add into that the direction of flow of data. Now, by bringing those four items together, it was able to provide a level of control that we'd not seen before in any other product. So for me to be able to say, yes, you can use a device on that machine, on your user account, enables us to share some of the responsibility for the data that's going to be transferred to that device and perhaps subsequently removed from the confines and protection of the Salvation Army's UK network. The Lumention Security Data Protection product allows us to enforce a policy at machine level and at account level, so that when people try to plug in devices, perhaps in ignorance or perhaps to solve a particular problem, there's a message that appears to them that says that's not the sort of thing that you can do. That may well then prompt a call to the support team to get around the problem. We're able then to reinforce the message and quite often to propose alternative solutions. The product is very easy to use. It performs extremely well. It does the job. I now know that out of our population of 4,500 users, I have 498 people who've been given the privilege of using removable USB storage devices. And we know the sorts of devices that they're plugging into the PCs, and we know the volume of data that's been transferred in and out of the organisation. I think by deploying the Lumention product, we've been able to buy ourselves a peace of mind. So we've not had too many issues where people have been transferring data without our knowledge. I think if you're aware of what's going on in the organisation, that's much better than everything being a mystery. So for us to be able to say that we know who's transferring the data, and to help them do that in a more effective way, you don't always have to put your life on a flash stick and take it with you in your pocket. There are some wonderful technologies that our guys can deploy to enable you to get your information wherever you may be. Some of those are not without risk for sure, but it's about controlling those risks, and I think it's about having a sensible solution, and Lumention helps us to do that sensible approach to data management.